Hi everyone, today is Saturday, October 18th, 2025, and I'm going to bring through a message for the collective today. And I'm going to start by asking the question, how is it that we can align with the highest version of ourselves? And more specifically, what exactly do we need to hear in order to produce inspiration to align with that higher version? So what I'm going to start with are some oracle cards. I'm going to dive into the energy of our higher selves. And please remember that everything that you hear today may not resonate, but definitely take the things that resonate with your heart and leave the rest. Okay, so we're opening up today's reading with job. Love what you do and do what you love. Family, explore your sacred root system. And party, celebrate yourself. Sounds like you're going through a significant transition in your life that has to do with your work and even realizing what it is that inspires you and brings you to life. There is a curiosity that you are beginning to become more acquainted with, and I also feel this reluctancy of not wanting to dive too deeply into it because there's this fear of of being afraid of actually seeing yourself. Because what if you do enjoy this thing and everything else around you has to shift in order for you to go down this path? And exploring your sacred root system is exploring the beliefs that have held you back. And many of us have been brought up with the belief that we have to do what is necessary, even if we don't like it, in order to be deserving of a good life, of joy, of happiness. And learning to let go of that belief system is what's going to give you the permission to move into this newly realized curiosity. Now I'm gonna pull some tarot cards on this, and we can dive a little deeper into this new path, the transition that you are sort of at the edge of right now, wanting to cross this threshold, but afraid of what? Afraid of the unknown, really. There's also this thought right now that I'm thinking of, you are deserving of joy. And when you are joyful, it becomes contagious. And in many ways, that is the best thing that you can do for the people in your life. We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got the Tower, a repeated cycle. So you're definitely at this threshold of choosing between something new or doing the same old things that you don't feel like you anymore. And the thing is, that's okay. Part of life is realizing that you get to evolve and grow and move into things that actually, level you up in life. And sometimes that level up means leveling up in joy and actually enjoying this life that you're living right now. And we've got the Three of Cups. So this is definitely an emotional acceptance that needs to happen first. Emotional, also looking into the emotions that have been holding you back. Are you holding on to grief? Are you holding on to fear? Are you holding on to emotions that aren't even yours? Exploring the sacred root system is also taking the time to reflect on those who have came before you, your family, the ones who have raised you, and seeing how you have taken on their emotional patterns and thought patterns and deciding whether or not you want it to be yours, because you do get that choice. You were given all this huge spectrum of emotions, and you get to choose which ones you want to cultivate so that they end up manifesting in your outer world. You do not have to live in something that wasn't yours to begin with. And that's an important message here today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some guidance cards on this. I'm going to pull from the Sacred Geometry cards. And I'm going to ask for guidance moving forward in both realizing and acknowledging this particular cycle of thinking that you need to suffer in order to be deserving of joy. And that is really the belief that needs to be transformed and seen through a different lens, because it's no longer yours and it doesn't have to be. It is something that was given to you, something that was taught to you, and it doesn't have to be true for you. So the guidance moving forward here, I'm going to ask specifically for a new way of seeing things that will help clear up this old energy that keeps holding you back and preventing you from seeing the truest version of yourself. So we've got the triangle, like I was saying. So the triangle in many ways represent mother, father, child. And so this is definitely realizing and reflecting on the things that they have given you that don't have to be yours. In what ways have you repeated the things that didn't serve them and are now not serving you? And also, we don't want to just make this a negative reflection. We want to take everything that they've taught us, amplify the things that work, and let go of the things that don't, because it doesn't, like I was saying earlier, like take what resonates, leave the rest, because this is your life and you get to customize it however you choose. Now, let's move on. We've got the nonagon. So instead of seeing things from an old lens and repeating old patterns, the nonagon is asking you to create something that feels more united. So taking all the things that they have taught you and looking, and I said this before, looking at all the things that have worked for you and integrating them into your life and seeing what you are inspired to. Because sometimes when you decide not to push something away and you instead integrate it, intentionally integrate these actions and these thoughts, these things that your parents have taught you, you begin to level up and you live a different life than they did, mixed in with the love that they have given you. Because not everything that your parents have taught you is not usable, there are definitely good things that they have taught us through example and through words as well. It's really just taking the time to think about it and reflect on it. And I also sense this feeling of grief here of like, what will happen if I choose not to be who they taught me to be or who they expected me to be? What will happen grieving an old version of you and even them in a sense? Because when you let that old version of you go, you let the things that they have taught you that don't serve you go as well. And that's okay, because if you think about what parents truly, truly want from you, what unconditional love really is, it's this allowing of like letting other people, especially the ones, well, everyone really, but when it comes to a parent and child relationship, like all you want for your children is for them to be better than you in the best of ways, and like sometimes they may not say it, sometimes they may not act on it, and sometimes they feel it and don't know how to say it into words, and they express it. If you think about what their parents have taught them, it's like they express it in the same way that they were taught as well. So it's this pattern that has existed lifetime from generation to generation to generation, and right now it is being given to you so you can transform it, and that is a blessing in and of itself. And then we've got the hexagon here. We've got all the sacred geometry shapes coming up for you, and it's really just reminding you that the work here is the inner work. You want to do things from the inside out. So the reflective part of this guidance is going to be really important and is going to be your very first step. So if you think about reflection practically, that's journaling. writing things down to make sense of it. If you're not a writer, taking time in silence, taking time to be with yourself will be very important moving forward. Talk therapy with somebody that is trusted, somebody that understands what you are going through. Because definitely in the air right now, there's a lot of realization of generational trauma, and there are a lot of people talking about how we can move this forward. But I want to remind you of one simple thing before we end this here. It's not just about the negative things, that letting go of the negative things that our parents have taught us. This is also about amplifying the things that they have taught us as well, the good things, the things that have worked, and integrating it into our life to level up and experience life in a whole new way, in a way that your family has never experienced it before. And remember that you are not just deserving of it, that is your work. That is what your parents would have wanted for you. So you are not dishonoring them. In fact, you are showing them that you have the capabilities and the intuition and the intelligence to be better, to do better, and to become the best version of yourself. And so I hope you were able to draw something valuable from today's reading. Have a great day.